all month here. Love your music. So
Thank you.
I'm just
So excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
for being here.
Thank you.
It's been awesome to get to know you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
dope. Hello, everybody. Again, my name is Nerd D. This is the little artist spotlight we get to do every week, highlighting someone here in the city who's making art, making music, and making us all have a great time. Now, hello, Lieutenant Sonny.
Hello, people out there. Hello, everybody.
How are you feeling this evening?
I feel so good. The sun is shining.
It
And
is.
it feels so great outside. It's perfect. The temperature is perfect for me today.
There it is. That's what we love to hear. Perfect temperature. But now we're not outside. We in the booth. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You cool?
Yeah.
You ready? It's
I'm
hard
ready.
hitting.
I'm ready.
It's
I'm
hard
ready.
hitting. That's all we do here.
Let's do it.
All right. So real quick, before we get into the hard hitting questions, I got to ask, what got your start in music? We've been listening to you all month. Like, tell us what got you into this.
Okay, so I grew up in an apostolic church, and I was always in the choir, dancing, praise dancing, and doing all that fun stuff. But I was always pretty radical. Like, I always had this fiery spirit inside of me. I was like labeled the rebel child and things like the problem child, all that fun stuff. And I used to dance a lot, but I always like had this feeling inside of me like I'm trying to get a message across. And I felt like I tried to convey that through dancing. But one day I picked up a microphone, like back when I was 19, and I was a part of this, what's it called? It was a residency project with Big Quarters. They were collaborating with Culture Club Collaborative. Shout out to Culture Club.
Shout out.
And they were doing a recording project with the youth participants, and I was one of them. And the day that I came, we were writing about our experience on Hennepin Avenue. And so I wrote about my experience as a young queer Black person walking down Hennepin Avenue. I recorded my voice and I heard it back and I fell in love. And I've been rapping ever since.
I love that. I heard my own voice and I fell in
powerful.
love. That's beautiful.
I didn't even hear that yet.
Now, since we listened to Lil Surprise last week, fantastic song, lovely music video. Like I said, I don't know if any of y'all heard it. That music video is spicy. It's hot.
It's hot.
So tell me a little bit about that, because I know you had said that was very transformative for you.
Yes. So being a big body person, being plus size, I've had to learn how to like me and love the skin that I'm in. Like there's a point on my spiritual journey where I'm like, I keep abandoning myself and I keep trying to escape myself and having anxiety and mental health and all the fun stuff. But I realized that every therapy session, every prayer session, everything always led me back to myself. And so there was a time I wrote that song 2 years ago, and it was actually during the uprising that was taking place. And I was just it's interesting. I explained it on my podcast, the Sex Talk podcast by Lieutenant Sonny.
Shout it out.
Yes, I have a podcast, and so we just did a debrief about the music video with myself and the other women. But the anger and the rage and the frustration that I had from the unjust, disgusting murder of our dear brother George Floyd, I channeled it into and I channeled it into my sensuality. And so I transformed that energy. I transformed that angry energy. And what I realized was that if I'm going to die for being Black, I would rather die for being myself.
There it is.
And that's where that came from. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let him say it.
Y'all are so kind.
No, but that's so real. I think that it's real important, I think, specifically for Black femme people in music to be able to express their love for themselves. You said this multiple times, not only just your voice, but your body and your content.
Yeah.
That's so important because there's not a lot of avenues for that.
No, it's not.
It is the industry is not normally kind.
Yeah.
As a reflection of most of the world. But so as a femme, Black, queer, plus size person in the music community here, what have been the challenges? What things have you overcome? Well, talk a little bit about what it's like being that type of performer here in Minnesota.
I think that what I realize is there's a lack of there's a gap between visibility. I think it's so important that we see each other, like we see ourselves in these spaces. And this is why I'm such a fan of you. Like, I know you're my friend. I know, but you make it seem so easy. Like, I know it's hard, and I know we have our one-on-ones and we talk about it, but seeing things that you've done and other queer Black folks and queer Black femme folks too is inspiring. And so I'm like, I see me in these spaces when I see other faces like me. I wasn't trying to rhyme, but so stop it. Yes. So I think we need more visibility. And what I realized too, which I've had conversations with non-Black folks, I've had to learn how to have, like, I don't know if I call it patience or whatever it is, but it's like sometimes the message doesn't land for non-Black folks until like 3 to 5 years later. And so I'm like, I'm just going to wait for you to catch up. I'm going to say this thing and then hit me up in 5 years when you get it, And there's been so many times where people are like, 5 years ago when we had that conversation, I get it now, Sonny. And it's like, I don't got 5 years.
You don't got time to wait.
Right. So education is so important. So the barriers that I face are just falling on deaf ears, people not hearing me the first time. And so it's just along with, being comfortable in my skin and liking me, I have to be okay with being alone and knowing that people will catch up. Hopefully. I hope that they catch up. You know what I'm saying? So just being patient.
Being patient, and it's a sobering realization. Is that specifically a Black woman in this industry, one of the things that you have to master is patience, waiting for people to catch up to you.
Yeah.
That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, so much. I was like, I said this 5 years ago. And then you're like, oh yeah, because you're so excited now that you got it.
Yeah.
So celebrate with it's so tired.
How many times have we told somebody something and then they come back, oh hey, you know what I found out? You're like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told you.
Exactly.
I mean, like we were just talking about. I've had friends of mine, friends of the paler persuasion, and they'd be like, man, these police really be out here like that, huh? And I'm just like,
really?
Okay.
To me? You're going to say that to
right
me?
now? All right, okay. We're here.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Okay. I first of all, music is powerful. Music is protest. I think just your existence is protest. And I applaud you for continuing to make the music that you love to make, and you let your voice heard. And 5 years from now, where everyone's like putting the Grammys that you made on the stuff,
okay. Yes.
We'll be able to say, hey, we heard it here. We heard it here. We heard it here. Yes. Now, real quick, just so people can get to know you, what are you doing up? What's coming up next for you? What music are you doing 5 years from now when people are talking about it? What are you doing now?
Right. So to the people in the future.
There you go. Tell them.
Hey, everybody. So actually, tomorrow I'm going to be hosting my favorite ever open mic. It's like I forgot the name. It is my favorite. No,
it's the Reverb
open mic with True Art Speaks. Yes, I love. Shout out to True Art Speaks. Shout out to the team over there. I love them so much. I get to hold the space tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And so it's gonna be at Helly Q Brown Center from 6 to 8, and it's free, all ages, and it's a real good. Oh, space. Oh, yeah. And so, I'm sorry. And so that's what I'm doing immediately. And then right now what I'm working on a new project. I don't want to say too much about it.
Don't release it.
Not yet. But yeah,
I know it's coming. It's simmering.
Yeah, something really good is coming. And then I can't think of what's happening. There's something. Just follow me on social media.
Oh, there you go. Where can they find you? Where's the place they can find you at?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter, LT Sunny, ELLTEE SUNNIE.
Ooh, there it is, and that's Instagram. That's
Twitter. Yep, and Facebook too. If you put in that tag, Lieutenant Sunny. Yep.
There it is. We got someone in the building who's making waves. That's super dope.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about your song Legend because I really loved that song. Because I was banging it at my job the whole time. Yeah. And I was just like enjoying it. People were like, who was that? I was like, Lieutenant Sunny.
Yeah, period. Yes.
Yeah, so just tell us like what that song is about and how that like made you feel and how you came up with it. So another shout out to True Art Speaks.
in hip hop education, something that I learned about, you know, the elements of hip hop is that it's like even in church too, like growing up in church is call and response. And so what I really love about that song is it's like community oriented. Like when I write my music, I like to make sure people can like, if they never heard it before, or if they heard it and they love it, they feel like they can join in when we're all together, or when I'm performing. So it's like I wanted to incorporate that element into the chorus, which I hope you can, you know, sense that the call and response. And then also I just had to hype me and my people up, you know, like, cause we're living legends. Like, to go back to what Nerdy was saying about like our existence is radical. Like, to be Black and exist and be, period, is a radical act, and it's like disrupting certain spaces. Like, our existence is political when we show up, you know, and that's legendary, you know. So I love that song, and I was just purging my heart into it with those things I'm learning with this thing called life. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Oh, and next week, I know we got one more track for you next week. Mm-hmm. It's called Word to Howie, and it has a couple people on there. Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about that track? Yes.
So Word to Howie is what another one of my favorite songs, and it's a celebratory song. And it's with my lovely friends and co-workers, Brandon Pofus and Tuvok the Word. And it's just really a celebration. And the idea was to, you know, like, you know, as Black artists, like, I know we get into the political meat and potato stuff. And so I was just trying to keep it kind of light, even though it probably got a little heavy in there somewhere too. But yeah, just trying to keep it light and turn up and have fun. Also, we gonna be all right type stuff.
There it is. There it is. Having fun. Joy in the face of adversity is the ultimate form of protest a lot of time. Mm-hmm. When you're just happy and they can't stop you from being happy, it's beautiful.
Yes.
We got time for another question? We still going with just like from an artist's perspective, you know, a lot of times with art comes like insecurity or like self-doubt. Like, we're always like our own biggest critic. Like, what was the moment, just because I like to hear this from artists, what was the moment where you're like, okay, yeah, that's pretty dope, I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether it was someone did something for you, or like you did a project and it came out and went crazy, or like, what was a moment that comes to the top of your mind where you're like, yeah, I did that?
Well, okay, my immediate thought, because I was listening to it on my way over here, is holding my own on a cipher full of my peers. Like, you know, like, so check out the FPE cipher on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It has all of Fair Play Collective on it. And first of all, I didn't go first in the cipher. Like, even though it was my idea, I didn't go first, which I thought was so player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, let me sit back. You know what I'm saying? And then when I came in, I was like, ooh. And so it was like, and also I was going through a breakup at the time. And the first lyrics are heartbreak, taught I got nothing to prove. And just being my own cheerleader, not hating on myself, is when I have the best, like, execution. Like, yeah, like, just come in with the, and I held my own, you know. I leave them running for their money.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. We have any more questions? We have time for one more? Are we good?
One more.
We got time for one more question? Anybody? Because I got one more.
Okay.
This is my last question. I ask everybody, every segment we've ever done, I ask this question.
Yeah.
If you could perform with two people, living or dead, who would you pick and why?
Ooh, oh no.
You got 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Living or dead. Oh, okay. Beyonce.
Boom.
And Michael Jackson.
There it is. Okay.
Beyonce and Michael Jackson.
Boom.
They're such great entertainers, and I would live with all the dancing and all that singing.
There it is. Okay. Well, everybody, we're going to make sure that Lieutenant Sunny and Beyonce get hooked up together very soon. Make sure to follow her on all social media. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank you for
today.
Having me.
Yes, and thank you, Nerdy, once again for your spotlight. We extremely appreciate it. We're going to take a quick listen.